son of embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of sexual assault. A lawsuit filed in LA Superior Court on Thursday accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting and possibly drugging a woman in December 2022. The woman says it happened while she was working on a yacht that Diddy had chartered. This comes just over a week after homes owned by Diddy were raided in LA and Miami as part of a federal human trafficking investigation. Neither the attorneys for Combs or Diddy have commented on the new legal complaint.
A new lawsuit. Sean Diddy Combs' second son, Christian Combs, is accused of sexually assaulting a crew member working on a super yacht. That suit was filed here in Los Angeles. Attorneys representing former yacht stewardess Grace O'Markey say she was sexually assaulted on board a yacht.
All right, so I want to bring on right now criminal defense attorney Mauricio Padilla, friend of the show. He's represented some very high-profile defendants in high-profile cases. Good to see you once again. So I don't think we've had a chance to talk about this lawsuit, and now that the news is reporting that Christian has been served with papers here, why is that significant?
In a shocking and unexpected moment, Christian King Combs, the son of music mogul Diddy, has made an explosive statement in court saying, "This changes everything." For years, Christian has been seen as the heir to his father's empire. But with these recent court revelations, everything might be about to change. From personal struggles to explosive business allegations, today we're diving deep into the scandal that's shaking the foundation of the Combs family. Grab your popcorn, because this story is about to get a whole lot more intense. Christian Combs, born into fame, wealth, and the legacy of Bad Boy Records, has always been under the watchful eye of the public. Known for his talents in music, fashion, and his distinct entrepreneurial spirit, he's been building his brand. Despite the benefits of having one of the most famous fathers in the world, Christian's journey hasn't been as smooth as it seems. Over the years, Diddy has praised Christian for his musical achievements, often calling him the future of the empire. However,
Tim in the case has produced audio recordings that allegedly shows forcing himself upon her and that he wouldn't take no for an answer.
The woman says it all happened during what was supposed to be a wholesome family excursion with Christian and his father.
Check this out, y'all. This is Diddy. This is my son, King Combs. And I've been watching my pop since I was a kid. And I'm proud of you, boy.
She says Diddy was the one chartering the yacht for the trip.
This lawsuit is bad for Diddy. He may be able to get out of it, but the optics are terrible when he's already facing a criminal investigation. This may be the nail in the coffin.
there has been a growing rift between the father and son. Christian recently spoke out, revealing frustrations not just with his career, but with his father's business practices, which he now says have left him feeling manipulated and trapped. Christian's comments reached a boiling point when he stepped into the courtroom and faced the truth of his father's alleged actions. The moment he uttered, "This changes everything," it was clear that there was no turning back.
Christian Combs. O'Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas.
His allegations were a shock, not just because of their nature, but because of the power dynamic between him and his father. The courtroom became a battleground for truth, with Christian painting a very different picture of life behind the scenes of Bad Boy Records. As the court case unfolded, a dark side of Diddy's business was revealed. Christian claimed that Diddy had fostered a culture where young artists were exploited and controlled. From restrictive contracts to manipulative tactics, Christian's statements were not just a cry for help, they were a wake-up call for the music industry. Perhaps the most shocking moment came when Christian's name was connected to the infamous yacht party scandal. The yacht, rented by Diddy for a family retreat, quickly spiraled into chaos. Allegations surfaced of drug-fueled parties, sexual misconduct, and underage involvement, and now Christian's name was on the legal documents. He was accused of being complicit in orchestrating the parties, and his role in the scandal was becoming increasingly clear.
O'Markey. Jones taped this event with her. Yes, the lawsuit provides transcripts of audio recordings, and these audio recordings reportedly show, or you can hear, kissing sounds, her telling Combs not to touch her, her allegedly asking about whether she was drugged. Now, we haven't heard these tapes here on Law and Crime yet, but if they are what they purport to be, that is a huge piece of evidence. And remember, when we're talking a civil case, when we're talking lawsuits, the burden of proof is much lower than a criminal case. It's just preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not that this happened. So the civil suit accuses Christian of assault, battery, sexual assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. They're a big part of this lawsuit. She goes into the mental anguish that she has gone through, the emotional harm that she has suffered as a result of that. It's important.
Things came to a head when Christian walked out of the courtroom, visibly shaken by the revelations. His sudden departure wasn't about avoiding the truth. It was about self-preservation. With each word in the courtroom, Christian's relationship with his father began to crumble, and his own future was hanging in the balance. The fallout from these court...
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise, and they actually named it in the indictment, the Combs Enterprise. And they said that this enterprise consisted of him as the alleged leader, his employees, assistants, staff, allegedly, that were able to procure women and alleged male sex workers to engage in performances for his own sexual gratification. Where it differs from a mob indictment, it has all the elements of putting together this racketeering allegation of all these moving pieces using resources from his businesses. But the fact that this is about an allegation of sexual gratification being accomplished by alleged human trafficking, it's one of the most unique indictments I've ever seen in this area, in the area of sex crimes.
First of all, he is not steering away from the idea of the freak-offs. They seem to be saying, yeah, these were called freak-offs, we're going to call them freak-offs, but they're not illegal.
Yeah.
But one of the charges he faces is transportation to engage in prostitution. If he's saying, yeah, I hired sex workers, but if he's transporting them and paying for them...
Hearings has been swift. Christian now faces a civil lawsuit that threatens not just his reputation, but also his financial future. The allegations against him are serious, and while he maintains his innocence, the damage done by these revelations is undeniable. But the real question is, how far will this go? Will it tear apart Diddy's empire, or will Christian and his father weather this storm together? The music industry is under scrutiny like never before. Christian's accusations aren't just about his family, they're about the way the entire industry operates. As fans, celebrities, and insiders weigh in, many are wondering if these revelations will force real change. Will record labels like Bad Boy be held accountable for their treatment of artists? Or will this just be another headline that fades into the background? As the legal battles continue, Christian and Diddy's future remains uncertain. Will Christian ever be able to reclaim his father's empire? Or is this the beginning of the end for the Combs dynasty? With every twist and turn in this saga, one thing is clear, the Combs family is facing an uphill battle. What do you think? Will Christian Combs'
agree with you, man. That's crazy, man. But why haven't any of Diddy friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that. They on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about. They showed the him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology in the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z, we the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did.
Decision to speak out change the course of his life and the music industry? Or is this just another scandal that will fade away with time? As the courts continue to weigh the evidence, we'll be here to bring you the latest updates. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Hollywood news and in-depth stories. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you think about Christian's future in the spotlight. What do you think? Will Christian Combs' decision to speak out change the course of his life in the music industry? Or is this just another scandal that will fade away with time? This isn't just a courtroom battle. It's about the legacy of a powerful family, the empire of Bad Boy Records, and the industry that surrounds it. As the drama continues, there are more questions than answers. Will the truth come to light, or will it be buried beneath the weight of fame and power? Christian's walkout has only intensified the debate. Some believe it's a sign of guilt, while others see it as a son protecting his family. There's a lot at stake here, not just for Christian, but for everyone involved in this case. The media is watching, the public is divided, and the legal battles are just beginning.
How do you feel about everything that's going on with Diddy right now?
It's just not okay. And, you know, when somebody is around somebody, we're counting on them to be one of our leaders in a space that we're all trying to get to. That's not acceptable to do. And it's not okay. I mean, it might be forgivable in the sense of a spiritual realm of life, or forgive everybody, but it's unforgettable. And that's where you just draw the line on friendship, hanging out, and supporting and being cool. It's like, nigga, it's done, you know, and that's it.
Yeah, that video was out of pocket, man. It should never get to that point where you stumping a female, man.
It's not okay, man. And it's not something that niggas can just take lightly, you know? Cannot do that. Not okay. It's not cool.
You knowing Diddy personally, was you surprised when you seen that video?
Heartbreaking. And shameful. And unacceptable. I've never seen nothing like that. I've never seen nothing like that in the history of my life. So, that's a new for me. I don't know what kind of demon you are, but, you know, somebody need to motherfucking perform an exorcism fast.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, I'm still in disbelief about what I seen. To see him kicking her like that, man, yeah, that was crazy, man.
There's just there's no place in that. And for somebody like me or anybody to say what I'm saying, they better not have had something like that happen. You get what I'm saying? Because now they even put their whole self at risk with being honest, you know what I'm saying? It's like people watch these reality shows and you see certain people arguing and shit get a little tense, right, on reality, but there's a certain level of where you don't go. You get what I'm saying? And this and that just do not go together. It just doesn't. You can't compare this of, you know, a back and forth verbal, whatever it is, in the sense of having a disagreement, right? And even getting too loud at this point is not even okay. But that is way on another page of somebody yelling or screaming. That's not humane.
You think it's over for him?
It's not about that. It's just about, you know, life in this industry goes on without certain people because their membership club is revoked. Their membership in the club is revoked. It's over. So you don't have room to make mistakes like that in the big club. You can't do that. You can't. That's inexcusable.
What you mean by that when you say his membership is revoked?
Meaning, if you threw a party tonight, the people on your invitation list, that club, the people that throw a party tomorrow for a foundation, for be anything that has substance to it, right? It's no longer available for certain people to be invited to.
I agree with you, man. That's crazy, man. But why haven't any of Diddy's friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that. They on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about. They showed him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology and the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there and denounce what he did or come forward and say, I support him.